Amy and Bandit. He looked so cute just sitting over there sleeping. Now he's all awake and he's kind of feisty. But I had to pick him up because he looks so cute and cuddly. And it's been a long time since he's been in a video, so I had to pick him up. And he wanted to say hi. Now he wants to get down. He's a good buddy though. On to the point of this video. I am here today to do a little, when I say little, I mean rather large, library haul. Every time I go to the library, I go slightly overboard. So let's just get started with the books that I picked up at the library. The first book is The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. This is a book that I saw Kayla from Books and Lala talk about. She read it during the book buddy-a-thon with her group of buddies, and I just saw her wrap up, and this book just sounded really intriguing. It's about these 4 individual lives, and they somehow intertwine together, and I like this little tagline. It says, "This is a book about people who try to save each other and how sometimes when they least expect it, they succeed." So it just sounded really interesting, and the way she talked about it, I just decided I have to pick that book up. And it's a really pretty cover, and so not that I bought it, but it's still a pretty cover to look at. I mean, it's purple and pink and... So the next book on my stack that I picked up is The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and this is a book that I think this is her book that came out last year, and I've been wanting to pick it up because I've read one of her other standalone novels and I really enjoyed the story, and I have read the first book in her Lux series and it was entertaining, and I don't really have any like burning desire to finish the Lux series, but I really enjoy her writing, and so I saw this in the library and decided I had to pick it up. And so I think this book is about this one girl who something happened and she didn't tell what had happened, so she kept the secret, and things were going fine until this boy that was part of this something came into play, and so now she has to decide what's more important, keeping the secret or keeping this boy or something. It sounded interesting, and so I'm really looking forward to picking this book up, and as I've already said, I really enjoy Jennifer L. Armentrout's writing, and she was also on a panel that I went to when I was at the RT Book Lovers Convention this past May, and she was just hilarious, and I just love when you meet an author and they just seem so down to earth and funny and interesting that it makes... For me, personally, it makes me want to read their stuff even more when they just seem like a really interesting person. So, I'm really looking forward to picking this book up. The next book that's on my stack is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh, and this is a book that has been floating around BookTube for a while now, and it was never something that sounded like interesting because I didn't really know what it was about. I just saw the cover, and so I saw this on the new YA shelf in my library, and so I read the flap, and it does sound interesting. It does sound a little cliche. You know, you have a girl that doesn't want to do what she, her fate tells her she has to do, and all this stuff, and so it does sound like it could potentially be very cliche. So I'm hoping that it's going to be more than your typical story of a girl not wanting to do what her destiny, fate, families tell her she has to do. So I'm intrigued to pick this book up. The next book that I picked up is What Happened to Goodbye by Sarah Dessen. I really enjoy Sarah Dessen's books. I like that they have a lighthearted feel to it, but there's always something that's a lot deeper that comes into the story that makes the books not just a fluff piece, but actually has some kind of depth to it. And so this book is about this girl who has been moving around her whole life, and so she doesn't get attached to people, and then she settles in this one place and she's actually starting to make friends and attach herself to the people in her life. And so It sounds really interesting, and I am looking forward to picking this book up. And Sarah Dessen's books, for me, are always just books that I just can fly through because they're just easy to get into, and the characters, there's always some kind of redeeming factor in her books, even if I don't enjoy every aspect of the book. There's something about it that I can pick out and like. So I'm looking forward to picking this book up. The next book that is on my list was actually from a book from my last library haul, which I don't even know if I made a video for that. I don't think I did. But it was a book that I checked out last time, and I actually had for 6 weeks but never read. But it's a book I want to read, and that is Girl from Everywhere by Heidi Helig. And this is about this girl who, her family, they travel through time, and her father actually wants to visit this one instance in time, but there's a possibility that if they visit this instance, she will cease to exist. And so how can you go wrong with ships and time travel? I mean, that just sounds like a great combination. So I really want to get to this book before I have to return it again. So keeping my fingers crossed that I actually get to this book. And then the last book that is on my stack is a book that I honestly just don't know why I picked this one up. I was browsing through the books, and I saw this one, and it's a book that a lot of people have read, and I don't want to see everybody because not everybody reads everything, but it seems like everybody has read this book, and I haven't, and it was never something that really intrigued me, but it's been one of those books that I just kind of want to be a part of the journey, and that book is Illuminated by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And so you have had to heard of this book before, and so the only thing I really know about it is that it's written in a different way. It's written in like emails and text messages and, you know, reports, and so it's like the concept of the book sounds really interesting. I don't know if it's going to be something that I'm really going to absolutely fall in love with, but I think it's going to be an interesting ride. And so I wanted to pick it up because, not because I just wanted to be a joiner, but because I feel like the hype of this book has kind of fallen away a little bit, and so I don't feel like I'm just reading it just to be part of the hype, but I do feel like I'm missing out on something to know, okay, what is so special about this book. So I decided to pick it up, and we'll see if I actually read it, because I don't always read everything I check out from the library. So that wraps up my library book haul. If you've read any of these, let me know, like, maybe priority of which one I should pick up first, which ones that sound interesting to you. If you want to buddy read any of these, let me know. I would love to buddy read something with someone because I love buddy reading. It's so much fun. And guys, I hope you're having a great reading month, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye! Bandit, who is, you know, being all sassy in the beginning of the video, he's back over there in his little spot on my clean laundry, asleep. Mister just didn't want to be on my lap, apparently. Rude. So rude.